Hey, welcome back to the Mobility Project. We're at CrossFit Affliction in Fort Lauderdale. We guys call this South Florida? South Florida, to be clear. James Mills, dancer extraordinary, actually a professional ballet dancer we know from San Francisco. Danced with Smewen when we know him. And now he's just an all-around good CrossFit guy. Pretty flexible. One of the things we're going to show you today is we're going to work on calves, work on ankles, and then we'll just talk about the wrist. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw James up. If you don't have this flexibility, it's okay. I know that some of you guys don't. But this can be done on the bar. We call this the partner calf torture mode. And basically, starting all the way up at the base of the ankle on a barbell, we can do it low. We're just going to start laterally, and we're going to work our way across and capture all those tissues. When I find something nasty, I stop there and grind back and forth. And we're going to just put a clock on this. And remember, it's only fair because James gets to do it to me afterwards, right? And so if I torture him mercilessly, and he's making this Zen dancer face, right? So you think you can suffer, baby? And so I find this tight piece, I'm coming in oblique, and I'm just going to roll that thing back and forth and really try to pancake that soleus, pancake that common tendon. It's gnarly down there, and James is making the fun face. So let's try to get 3 minutes, get as much done as you can, don't worry about it if you don't cover. 3 minutes on the other leg, switch partners, okay? Then, go ahead and have a seat. We're going to go ahead and talk to that dreaded posterior tibialis. And posterior tib runs behind that shin bone and really runs down and gives your ankle support into an arch. And it literally comes down and kind of feathers out into these pieces. And we see so many arch problems, so many people having control of the foot problems, and this stuff runs right behind here and up. And it's pretty tacky and ugly. James was just recalling that he was like, you know, I forget how gnarly it is. If you just grab your thumb, James has got the ball there, he's got both hands, he's working in, and then he's tacking, and then he's going to create some motion with his ankle. So if he can even roll his ankle back and forth, then it's an active tack and stretch. It becomes basically a poor person's active release technique, right? And it's cheap. But you can do this while you're seated on an airplane, couldn't you? And if you're super macho, ¿quién es más macho? Ricardo Montalban or James Mills? James Mills or Ricardo Montalban? Back and forth, and then pull that thing back. So let's get a couple minutes here each side. Then we want to remind you, and I tell you, if that thing's painful, smash on that thing. That causes no end of dysfunction. We want to remind you and show you a couple good ankle moves. One of the things that people are always complaining about is that their ankle impinges when they go and try to stretch their calves. So we're going to grab a band. Come on with us over here. What do we do with the band? There it is. You can anchor this to the bottom of a door. You can anchor it to a frame. I'm just going to hold on to it for this sake. What we're going to do is the band is going to go in front of the ankle here, right? And what's happening is he closes. I'm trying to remove that closure and try to bias that ankle capsule a little bit more. The band should be pulling perpendicular to the joint. That's kind of the rule. I'm just going to give him some tension here, and then James is closing that joint down, going to close down, and he's going to work on improving that kind of ankle mobility, but based on this joint restriction. And he can kind of guide that knee in and out where he feels it. This can also be done into a stretch up on the wall. Go up to that rack, would you, James? So he gets that whole ball of the foot up there. And you'll notice that it's difficult for him to get some good pressure. I'm just going to get a little bit of pressure there, pulling, and then he can go ahead and improve the quality of that stretch. And it unimpinges him just a little bit, right? And then I can still protect my face in case it's too painful. Always in that outside 90 where you're thinking right here. So he can do that big calf stretch here, and then with that little bit of distraction in the bottom, he's going to remove that ankle impingement. Does that feel different than that?
Yeah, it does.
Of course it does. All right? Does that make sense? So I want you guys to toy with that. See if you can find a super friend for this thing. Torture your calves. Even a barbell works. And if you can't find someone, you could be on here, rolling back and forth. It could even be on something a little bit here, back and forth. Try to do what you can do to find something gnarly and sharp. Even if you have to get your weight up, even back and forth, this works pretty well if you don't have a super friend. Make sense? CrossFit Affliction, can't recommend South Florida enough, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it was like 75 degrees and I hate it. Talk to you guys tomorrow.